Good morning. It is another good opportunity to be with you today. Today we're going to talk about measuring and learning how to measure various distances on a ruler. This is specifically geared towards my class, so it's not going to be encompassing of everything, but it will give you a basic understanding of how to measure using the inches of a ruler. All right, so there's two main systems. There's the inches, and then there's the metric system. This particular video is going to be dealing with the inches side of our ruler, or the inches measurement system. So like inches and feet. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Then after that, we're going to get into the ruler and unit of measurements, and how to figure out what each unit of measurement is, and then how to find the various values on a ruler. All right, so again, as to determine what side of the ruler that you're looking at, if you look down here, you'll see where this says inches, I-N-C-H, that is inches. You can obviously zoom in on this if you need to see it a little bit closer. Actually, I'll do a little bit of zooming right now. Okay. So on this particular ruler, we are going to be focusing on the inches side. And again, this particular ruler has 10 inches. Now, this is the same one that I passed out in class that you have access to, so you can be able to use the same ruler. Now, the first thing that we need to do is, we don't know what each of these little lines means. Okay? So we're going to figure that out. So right now, again, since we're working with the inches, this is 0. So that means there's 0 inches. When you see this 1, that means that's 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, and so on. That's what these large numbers right here are. Okay? But what do these smaller lines mean? These smaller lines are part of that inch. And to figure out the value of each one of those lines, we have to count how many of these lines are from 0 until we get all the way up to 1. So if we count each one of those lines, so here's 1 line, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 of these little lines until I get to the 2 inches. So between 1 and 2, there are 8 of these little lines. So that means each one of those lines is going to be 1/8 of an inch. Okay? So each one of these lines is 1/8 of an inch. So this is 1/8. So this would be 1 1/8 inches. So from here to here is 1 1/8 inches. From here to here, this line is 1 2/8. From here to here is 1 3/8. And so on. 4, 5, 6, 7. And obviously that's 8/8. 8/8, that's also considered 1. Okay? So from here to here is obviously 2 inches. Okay? So if I were to try and figure out the value of, I want to move my ruler up a little bit. If I wanted to try and figure out the value of C, okay, I know the first thing is that C is at least 3 inches. So it's 3 inches, okay? And again, each one of these little lines is 1/8. So 3 and 1, 2. So it would be 3 2/8. Okay? We can reduce this, all right, just like you do in math class. in order to reduce it, well, when you reduce it, it becomes 3 1/4. And again, when we convert it to a decimal, it would be 3.25. So that's all of the various values that you would see on any of our tests for the value of C. Okay? If I wanted to figure out the value of E, okay, I would follow that same process. Always remember, the process doesn't change. The values change, but the process does not change. Okay? So E is at least 5 inches. Okay, because there's 5 right there. So I'm going to write 5. And then how many eighths of an inch? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 6/8. Okay? This can be reduced to what? Exactly 5 3/4. Okay? Now, again, when we can convert this to a decimal, and what would it be? 5 point what? Okay, good. 5.75 inches. Okay? Now we're going to do just a few more practice. Going to move this up. And we're going to find the value for H. Okay? Zoom in a little bit more. So the value of H. So we know H is at 7 inches. Okay? So what am I going to do? Correct, I'm going to write 7. Okay? And then how many eighths of an inch? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 7 4/8 of an inch. Remember, double quotes is inches, single quotes are feet. So let me make sure I put all those in there. Okay? Now, 7 4/8 can be reduced. This fraction part can be reduced. So I'm going to make that 7 1/2. Okay? And when I convert that to a decimal, it is 7.5 inches. Okay? So please make sure that you study. All right. Now I'm going to do some of these on the opposite side of the ruler paper. Okay. Now some of these we're not going to be able to reduce them, and we're also not going to convert them to a decimal, even though they can be converted to a decimal, but we're not going to. That's not going to be something I'm going to ask you to do on this particular assessment. All right. So same ruler, each one of these lines still equals 1/8 of an inch, but if we try and look for the value of R, okay, so R is 2 inches, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 and how many eighths? 5/8 inches. Can this be reduced? No, not really. It can be converted to a decimal, which would be 2.625. 2.625. But on the test, I won't ask you to convert these to a decimal. I won't do that. Okay? I will actually only ask you to find what the value is in eighths. All right, so the value of K, 3 inches. How many eighths? 1/8, so 3 1/8 inches. Okay. The value of, let's do one more. Let's do O, and then we'll end the video here. So O is 6 inches. And how many eighths? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So O would be 6 7/8 inches. Okay? So again, please review your video. Please review notes that we have taken in class. And I hope this gives you a great understanding of the inches side of your ruler and how to reduce and convert them to a decimal. Again, good luck and do well.